interviewing top talent in movies, television, sports, and music, leaders, entrepreneurs, and experts. Broadcast out of New York, Manchester, Los Angeles. As a mentor, life and career coach, I help others, athletes, actors, and people of all walks of life, solve the problems they face by introducing balance and routines that would otherwise leave them stuck and overthinking, paralyzed, unable to reach their goals. They look for engaging, rewarding lives, and I think they deserve that. Today, I invite you to join me on my radio show to learn from my guests and I how you can be more resilient and strong. I empower people who struggle with confusion or feel stuck in soulless, non-fulfilling situations. I help them find calm and claim their authentic self in their career path or personal life so they can live to their fullest potential. As a motivational speaker for businesses, schools, resorts, and communities, I speak on topics of achieving success and living a mentally healthy lifestyle, featuring topics from my Power My Life program within my revolutionary Impact, Influence, and Income Academy. I inspire the world as a radio journalist, author, life coach, career coach, resilience expert, mental health advocate, and most recently as a society writer for Transatlantic Today magazine. So happy that you joined me. Let's get rolling. You don't just have to go through it, you can grow through it. Good morning, and thank you for joining Resilient You with Alicia Pisani. On our show, we have guests that talk about topics of resilience. Today, I have a special, remarkable guest who is a shining example of resilience and determination. We are joined by Marcos Prince. He is a singer, rapper, dancer, and an actor for starts. Marcos, welcome to the show.
Yes, how you doing?
Now, Marcos, you want to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yes, well, my name is Marcos Prince. I'm a singer, dancer, actor, and performer. I was born and raised in New York, came to Trenton, and I experienced a lot of things growing up as a young, talented artist myself. And I grew up watching all these performers going around, and I see dancers on the street, and I'm like, you know what? That inspired me to be somebody. I think it's like some spark that is growing inside of me, and I see that spark. I'm like, wow, I'm fascinated. I want to do the same thing. I want to be just like that, but better.
I love that. I love that. Now, Marcos, I had the privilege of seeing you perform, and I know that you're destined for greatness in the arts. So I
Mm.
want to just put that out to the universe and get this message going. I want to ask you a little bit about some of the things that you've gone through and how you got through those things. I
Yes.
want to talk about some of the highlights in your life so far. I know you had a couple of roles that you landed in plays. You had the lead role in Lion King recently on stage. You also you starred in The Wiz as Scarecrow. So you've had some pretty big roles right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So Marcos, before we get to that, can you tell us about one of the challenges that you faced growing up in New York City?
Well, it goes like this. It was a little hard for me as a child because it's like I feel like when I was growing up as a child, I see everybody else very different from me, and I see myself very differently. You know what I mean? And I don't want to follow the bad examples. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna lead by a good example. I'm gonna start following the positive because like places like New York and Trenton, it's got a lot of negative and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And I say, you know what? That's not gonna be the type of person I'm gonna be. So I'm gonna keep myself on the right path because I know I want to be somebody. and I'm gonna keep myself in that path.
Oh, that is amazing. That is not easy for kids today, growing up in the inner cities, growing up, or even sometimes adults. When you grew up with going through things and you turn to other things like alcohol, drugs, you turn to
Yes.
the people that keep you down. So let me ask you, what do you think that passion that you had and that desire to become greater, you had to have resilience, right, to do that.
Yes.
How do you do that, to make a decision like that and stay so true in your heart?
Well, for me, I had to follow. It's like I have dreams. I have dreams about spotlights ever since I was a child. I have dreams about my stages getting bigger and bigger. But then I woke up from those dreams and I'm like, man, is this what I want to do? And I go to school just like everybody else, everybody's very different, you know what I mean? And I see myself and I'm like, I get through these challenges because it's like, I feel like it's destiny. Destiny is
Mhm,
calling me. And I gotta be one of those few people to make it to the top. I gotta be one of them. I gotta show and lead by example. I gotta show our kids of today, our kids of our generation, you know, you don't have to be like me, but I could show you. See me
mhm,
and I could show you by example. Look at my
mhm.
examples, you know, and especially these dreams I'm having, I'm like, this is who I'm destined to be. And I wasn't even sure I was called out for stuff like this. All that stuff, dancing, singing, that was all just a dream. It was just a dream or a vision.
Wow.
And it's like, wow. And I'm like, God has blessed me with this talent because He knows what He put inside me. He know what I'm blessed with. So I guess I have all these dreams and visions and stuff, and I'm like, wow. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And I think that's God letting me know this is where you have to be in life. This is where you belong.
mm. So, Marcos, you listeners, I want you to hear the words Marcos has just said. He is leading by example. He's someone that is having a calling, and he's using his faith, he's using all of his energy and directing himself toward what his authentic self is. His dancing and singing, acting, this is something that is a talent that is God given. And I know, Marcos, throughout all of this so far, there was one person that really spoke to you. Can you tell us about who your hero is?
My father.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
yes, my father. Because he motivates me on everything and supports me on everything I do. And my father is different. He's a martial artist and he's a boxer for 50 something years. 50
Uh-huh.
something years, six, but he's also a dancer, so I guess I kind of got my talent from him too. And he
Mhm,
see myself as a little version of him because as when he was a child, he wanted to do the same things. He always liked doing the things I did and I'm doing now. But his heart and dedication was always about the martial art. And he taught me discipline. And he taught me martial art. I was a kid too, and that taught me a lot of discipline
mhm.
and how to keep my head in the straight mind, straight state of mind.
Okay, okay. Now, was your father born here, or was he born in Puerto
Trenton.
Rico?
My
Oh,
father
he
was
was.
born in Trenton. Yes.
Okay, okay. Now I noticed you have the flag behind you, so you must
Yes.
be very proud of your culture and
Yes, I am.
um, wonderful. So, so you are a Latin um, freestyle artist.
Yes, I'm also a Latin freestyle artist.
Okay, so and I've seen you on the stage too. You had something in over the summer that you did that was
Yes.
just amazing, amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I like that how you brought in some of the music from the 80s. You brought in the dance moves, the Michael
Yes.
Jackson we saw that.
Hmm.
You brought in the language, right? You had the English
Yes.
and you had the Spanish. So you're very current, you're very fresh in what is happening today. I know that you have amazing dreams. So you have talent, you have a work ethic too, right? You're able to
Yes.
stay straight, stay true to yourself and do the right thing. Not only do you train and practice, right? But you also you work full time. I just want to give your father a big round of applause. I your
Yes.
thank you for your
Yes.
dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Um now I was not that lucky. My dad left my mother when I was young,
Oh,
and
wow.
so I didn't have, a father figure, but then later I had a stepfather, so he filled that gap. And my stepfather was a police detective, so he had that same kind of discipline that you mentioned, right? How to
Yes.
do things the right way, and I know that in order for people to be resilient and have power over their life and over their emotions, it's so important that they have discipline in their self, right? So tell me about, so maybe you came from New York City, you came from humble beginnings, and now you're showing that through hard work and determination that anybody can achieve greatness and achieve their dreams. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about how you feel that they can be powerful and resilient?
How you can be powerful is always have your confidence. Stay confident. Doesn't mean being cocky. There's a difference. There's always a difference. All
Hmm.
right. The positive outweighs the negative. Always have your positive. All
Hmm.
right. Avoid the negativity. Always. Always avoid the negativity. There's gonna be times where life's gonna put you down, but you gotta keep yourself up here. Keep yourself in a good state of mind, positive. Keep yourself in a good mood. A lot of people's gonna draw you down. Trust me, it will. It happens to me all the time. But I'm not gonna let them determine what's my destiny or my future is. Only I could determine that. I had to motivate myself as a young man becoming an adult. And that's why I'm going straight forward and I'm doing what I want to do because I know this is my destiny.
Hmm. And as I said it before, Marcos Prince, you are the king of stage, you're king of the show, you are,
Yes.
uh, and again, I believe it. I believe it. Now, you have energy, right? You have a connection with the audience. Um,
Yes.
this presence is just something you said that is in you, right?
Yes.
Now, so now I want to ask you, were you prepared for this interview today and being able to inspire others? Did you imagine yourself not only being a performer, singing, rapping, but also being able to inspire others?
No.
Well, let me tell you what,
No.
you will. So you are inspiring others. How has Michael Jackson inspired you?
Because the type of person he is and the type of how talented he is. There are no other artists like Michael Jackson these days. And the way he sings, the way he dances, like even though as a young kid, it's like he grew up into the business, but you could see in that man how the way he moves, you could hear his messages. You could hear it. It inspired me a lot. And I'm like, you know what? I might become the next Michael Jackson, but as Marcos Prince,
Hmm.
become this generation's best in a
Yeah.
positive way. He he showed as an artist that you could become the best without doing anything negative, without no negativity.
Mm.
All Michael Jackson's messages was always about positive things, always about positive things. Everything he do is always about positivity, about love, inspiration, dedication, motivation. And I see that and I picture myself doing everything that Michael does. That's why I look up to Michael Jackson. Don't get me wrong. Michael Jackson, he's the king. He's the king of pop. There's
Mhm.
not going to be no other Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
No artist in this generation can beat Michael Jackson. Michael
Mhm.
Jackson is still number one. I just saw
Well,
it on the website.
we will. I won't ask you about Taylor Swift. That's a whole revelation. Taylor Swift. All these girls today. I don't get it. But again, I'm trying to be open minded. And I'm coming from the 80s, right? So I grew up with Michael. I grew up with, all the old songs. Last night I
Yes,
was listening to Luther Vandross. You
Luther.
know, there's something special about that. Just like our generations before us had special music they had from the 50s, from the 60s. But to your point, there was such a dynamic thing happening at that time with Michael and all his siblings. And I got to see Janet Jackson in concert when I was younger. And
Wow.
even the talent that she had was just like this much of Michael's talent. Still, it's true. Now, I'm happy that you're sharing this with our listeners, that it's not just personal success that we should pay attention to, but also look at those people that came before us and use that and their abilities and what they demonstrated to then take our challenges, overcome them, and take those lessons to motivate us. Like that's amazing. Because again, I know I was shy growing up, and I imagine if I had confidence, as you mentioned, maybe I could have played piano or drums. I still want to play drums. I think I'm gonna get some drums and see what happens with that. But just for fun.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's true. It's like, you don't know if you have a talent unless you try it. And
Yes.
listeners, so far we've heard from Marcos. We've heard that he has this God-given talent. He tapped into his support system, and he actually followed his dream. And what about that first time you took the stage, Marcos? Or maybe you still feel nervous when you take the stage. Do you?
What? Now that you mentioned that, it's like me, I'm like, I got this. I'm confident. But once that day comes, I'm like, okay, I'm a little nervous. But once I touch the stage, that nerves is just go away. And I feel like I turn to this different type of person. And I'm like, did I do that? Is
Yeah.
that me? When I look at videos, everybody looked at me, Marcos, this is you. Look at this. Was that me? Did I do that?
You're so humble. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. Now, Marcos, what do you have that's up and coming? Do you have something that people can come out and see you perform?
Well, yes. In fact, what's unbecoming? Well, I'm gonna bring this up. I have been, I have been oh wow. I have been cast to Into the Woods, and I will be playing as the baker. I'll be playing as the baker, another main character role,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
come watch the show at what's the dates again?
December 16, 17.
Yeah. Well, the dates are
It's okay.
okay. I'm gonna go back to saying, well, I'm gonna be up and coming. Okay. Well, I have an up and coming performance. I will be performing Into the Woods, and I will be playing as the baker, another main character role. The show attends at the 16th and the 17th of December. Did I mess up?
No, it's good. It's good.
Sorry.
I'm gonna I'm gonna fix it. So no worries, no worries. So that
And
so, yeah, so you have an upcoming show, Into the Woods, in December. And listeners, I want to say that I hope you've been inspired by Marcos just as I have. through him, his journey, you can remember that your dreams are worth pursuing and resilience can take you a long way. Marcos, do you have anything that you want to share with any young secret performers that are listening?
Yes, of course. Well, to my young, talented people, remember to stay yourself on the right track. Make sure you follow your artist. Keep yourself in a good path. Make sure you get that vocal training because them vocals can come in handy. And be a leader. Always be a leader. All the negativity is going to try to consume you, especially in a young age. The devil's might is going to get to you, especially in a young age. And it's sad. Turn the other way. Keep yourself in a positive mind, positive attitude. Grow up to be a positive adult. You got this. Keep yourself strong. Do not let nobody hold you down. Whoever that's bringing you down, get rid of it quick. And that's what I got to say for your young artists out there.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, listeners, you can follow Marcos Prince on Instagram. Now, Marcos, one last little question I have for you. You have the Dragon Prince.
Yes, the Dragon Prince.
Tell our listeners the meaning behind that.
Well, the Dragon Prince is basically more. My name is Marcos Prince, so I add like a hip hop flow. The Dragon Prince. The dragon runs down through my father because my father was a boxer. His name was the Fearless Dragon. So they call me Marcos Prince, but there's Marcos the Dragon Prince. So for short, it's Marcos Prince. So you put the dragon, Marcos the Dragon Prince. And also I am raised under a lot of Chinese and martial art influences, all them dragons and tigers. And I'm like, you know what? I like that. The Dragon Prince it is.
Nice, nice. So, listeners, if you want to search for him, you can search for him, the Dragon Prince, on Instagram. You can find Marcos Prince. You can look at his other previous shows. I'm sure you can find the clips online. He's an amazing performer. Now, what about in 5 years, Marcos? What do you think in 5 years we might find from you? Maybe hip hop, maybe rap album, maybe you might be performing in New York again? You think you'll end up making it back there?
Yes, I know I will. I see myself making music albums and making myself to Broadway. Broadway is my main key. I will go for Broadway because that could horizon my music career and my
Wonderful.
acting career as well.
Yeah. Well, again, you're more talented than many people that I know. And I've interviewed some celebrities, I've interviewed some musicians, and I know you're going to go far. So, Marcos, thank you so much for being so honest and open today for our listeners' benefit. Thank you for getting a bit into your personal space with us. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And again, listeners, I want you to know that you can achieve your dreams with determination, with the right support. You can face your challenges by shutting out the negativity. Remember Marcos's words, stay on the right track and stay a leader and be positive. Those are amazing, amazing words of advice. So,
Yes.
Marcos, thank you so much. And until next time, this is Alicia Pisani with Resilient You on Power 98.5 FM.